It's as if the truth is a death sentence. Every soul brave enough to expose Diddy's dark secrets meets a fate too chilling to be coincidence. They die mysteriously, and it's ruled natural causes or self-inflicted. But are they really? Or is something far more sinister lurking in the shadows, erasing the voices who dare to speak? Kim and Kimora's friend Erica Kennedy wrote a tell-all book called Bling, Exposing Diddy. It became the New York Times bestseller before she mysteriously died. Terrance Dean wrote a tell-all book called Hiding in Hip Hop, on the down low in the entertainment industry, from music to Hollywood, exposing Diddy. It became an Essence magazine bestseller before he mysteriously died. The book chronicled the secret gay hip-hop subculture and DL sex parties he both witnessed and was a part of while working in entertainment. And we know he talking about Diddy's freak-offs in his book. Kim Porter wrote a tell-all book called Kim's Lost Words, Exposing Diddy. It became Amazon's bestseller after she mysteriously died and Diddy tried to stop her. Let's see what TikTok has to say about Erica Kennedy and Terrance Dean.
Trying to figure out exactly what happened to Erica Kennedy after she wrote a damning book loosely based on Diddy. Child, with everything that has been exposed about Diddy so far, I'm honestly not surprised that people are linking Erica's death to Diddy. But how exactly are they connected? And what evidence from her book is similar to the lawsuits against Diddy? And have y'all ever heard of Terrance Dean? Because this is another person who also died mysteriously, and he also wrote a damning book loosely based on Diddy. Coincidence? Girl, I don't think so, honey. Okay, for a bit of background, Erica Kennedy worked in the fashion and music industry as a media writer, blogger, and a publicist. She was also the best friend to Kimora, was a bridesmaid in her wedding, and godmother to her daughters. Because she was so close to Kimora, and Kimora was one of Kim's closest friends, Erica was also pretty close to Kim Porter. And here is where the story gets very interesting. Apparently in 2004, Erica wrote a satire fictional book called Bling, which was about the music industry and based around a flamboyant hip-hop music mogul who signs a very young female artist to his label and begins to date her and control her. The book was allegedly loosely based on Diddy and his lifestyle, and when he found this out, he wasn't too happy about it, to the extent that he allegedly wanted Erica taken out. And then, just like several other people who went against Diddy, Erica was found dead in her apartment, and her cause of death has never been revealed to the public. Well, we've had reports saying that she unalived herself because she was depressed, but her close friends still have questions. For instance, after Erica was found in her apartment, one of her friends anonymously wrote a piece for Ebony saying, "I think about Erica every day. I thought about her before her death too, but in the way that you think about a person whom you are fond of and admire but don't see very often. The way I think about her now is different. I am stunned by my inability to let her be dead. Perhaps because of the many blogs, Facebook comments, and tweets that were posted immediately and for days after news of her death spread, making it so pointedly clear how loved and admired she was. Maybe because there was no memorial or funeral service announcement or an official cause of death." In the piece, the friend also said that she did not know for sure how Erica died, and she didn't know that she struggled with depression like she did. She said she never spoke of their individual experience with depression in specific terms, but rather referred to its impact in cryptic ways. The friend also said that sometimes she would hear from Erica, and she would mention in passing that she hadn't been out of her sweats in days, or her apartment had felt particularly dark that week. She specifically also said that if Erica did in fact unalive herself, it was likely prompted by a bad day, the kind of bad day that for a depressive person can prompt the end of all days. The friend also added, "I may never know what happened to Erica, and truthfully, I'm not sure that I need to, because I know that she carried a burden that many of us as writers, as black folks, as women face. She just needed to get the branding right," she said. "What I wished for her though, and maybe for myself too, is that she could have realized that what and who she was in reality was so much more meaningful than any kind of magic branding formula." Like I said, this person did not give their name, but the fact that they also had a lot of questions about how Erica passed on was in and of itself alarming. For all we know, Kimora may have been the one who wrote the piece, or even Kim Porter. Now back to that book that Erica wrote. The book is basically a story about how hip-hop's commercial side meets its gangster roots, where eternal playboy Lamont Jackson is the larger-than-life head of the hip-hop label Triple Large Entertainment, and Mimi Jean, a naive 20-year-old with golden pipes, is his newest protege. Mimi's whirlwind whirlwind life among New York's elite is paved with Lamont's money and guided with either love or malice by his many hangers-on, including a wild child, Lena, a level-headed assistant, Amani, and a height-challenged A&R rep, Daryl. Eventually, Mimi gets the makeover of her life, a new wardrobe and a boob job as Lamont lures her and starts taking advantage of her. Sounds very Diddy-ish if you ask me. Well, at least from all the lawsuits and allegations I've read about him. The thing is, Erica also worked as a publicist for Diddy at some time. So there's a high possibility that she saw some of the things that have come up in the lawsuits. It may also surprise you to learn that Erica dated a record producer when she was still a teenager. And that is the same thing we saw happening with her bestie Kimora and Cassie. So with Diddy being exposed and various mysterious deaths resurfacing, there were a lot of questions about how Erica died, with people posting comments like, what happened to Erica Kennedy? And why is her death and so much about her covered up now? Cause of death still not revealed over 12 years later. Okay, I know some people also say that the book was released in 2004, so it might have been written before Cassie. But clearly, Erica knew that Diddy had certain behavioral patterns. And years later, she tweeted comparing the main characters in her book to Diddy and Cassie. So even if the book was not necessarily about Cassie, it was definitely based on Diddy's patterns, which we've already established thanks to that article by Rolling Stone that go back to his college days. And tell me why during one of her interviews reviewing her book, Erica said, everybody kept talking about how scandalous that book was. I really didn't see the big deal. I knew I could write a story about a P. Diddy party and show these people what scandal is really all about. Girl, Erica knew exactly what was happening with Diddy. And baby, let me tell you something you may not have known. Erica isn't the only person who published a book loosely based on Diddy to have mysteriously died. Terrance Dean, closely connected to hip-hop, also authored a book called Mogul, and the book was allegedly loosely based on Diddy and his intimate relationships in hip-hop. Terrance Dean was found dead in his home in Ohio after not reporting to work, and his cause of death was unknown. And guess what? Just like with Erica's Bling, the book's main character, Big AT, is supposed to be Diddy, and the book goes into the dirty details about how the character made it to mogul status. The book is written in first person with code names and also features a character, Pop, who is supposedly Andre Harrell. So why is it that those who wrote books loosely based on Diddy mysteriously died and were found in their apartments? Anyway, I also did a bit of digging on the book and found an excerpt from the character Pop, assumed to be Andre Harrell, who said, all of them screwed and sucked some you-know-what to get to the top. Trust me, there was always some new, young, fresh, wide-open, roughneck thug who was willing to do whatever it takes to get a record deal, a movie role, or some press. Some even think they are smarter than the next and they will get by without having to deal with the gay brother. Like I said, we are everywhere and in all aspects of this industry. 9 times out of 10, we know each other. It only takes a phone call and we can bring you down or help keep you where you are. Then there's an excerpt from the Mogul which was also like, we were 2 men sharing our hearts, learning to love not only ourselves but each other. We decided Tickman would move in with me. I was producing his first album and needed him close to the studio. To me, I knew the long nights in the studio would get tiresome. The drive back and forth from Brooklyn to Manhattan would be taxing. Besides, it was not unlikely for an artist to live at the home of his manager or record label head. No one would ever suspect a thing, and no one did. I don't know about you, but Tickman here is kind of giving Mace. Now tell me you don't find it sus that these 2 people who wrote books loosely based on Diddy ended up dying mysteriously. And add on to that how Kim Porter also mysteriously died right when she was supposed to release a tell-all. And let me not even begin with the other people who planned on also releasing books and also died mysteriously. Child, it's crazy.
Now, if you don't know who Erica Kennedy is, she was Kimora Lee Simmons' best friend, and she was also really good friends with Kim Porter. She's been well immersed within the family, so if you don't know or have any idea who she is, let me share some context with you and backstory to her.
Well, who was that girl? Her name was Erica. She was a beautiful woman. Gorgeous. All of their friends were Kim, Kimora, Erica. I guess they were all old models. They were doing it. But let's talk about Erica Kennedy. Erica worked in fashion and the music industry as a media writer, a blogger, and a publicist for Sean John fashion line. She was also the best friend of Kimora Lee Simmons and was a bridesmaid in her wedding. And Erica Kennedy was godmother to her daughter, Aoki.
So when I say Erica was well immersed within the industry, she was well immersed within the industry. So she wrote a book in 2004 called Bling. It was a romantic novel, fiction, loosely based on the lifestyle of Diddy. And as we know, Diddy, he ain't really like that too much, allegedly. So from what I could find on the internet, because y'all, I kid you not, there is not much about Erica Kennedy's case. And I'm going to explain to you why, my theory, in a second. From what I found on the internet, her and Diddy allegedly got into an argument or got into a disagreement about said book after it was released in 2004, and things went downhill ever since then for her. Now, when I was doing my research on Erica, outside of the notable stuff, you know, her graduating with a degree in liberal arts, her being from New York, Queens especially, her notable pieces in the industry, her poetry readings, things of that nature, there is nothing online about her case, about her unaliving being listed as a homicide. There is nothing. And believe you me, y'all know I look in research. There is nothing. Like, you see stuff like this on TV, like on NCIS, but the fact that her very existence outside of the bare minimum has been wiped clean from the internet is something bigger at play here. And my theory is Kimora knows something, because from what I did research on Kimora too, because obviously it led me down a rabbit hole, and I found some interesting videos from Kimora.
I sometimes feel like some of those things come back to haunt you over time, and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm not really sure, but I've been through a lot. I've seen a lot. Again, like, I'm sitting here with my kids in my house. Probably too young bride. So I had these kids very early.
Sean Diddy Combs allegedly threatened to hit Kimora Lee Simmons, who was pregnant at the time.
They told me they couldn't go after Puff, but they could go after Russell Simmons. Those people knew that Russell Simmons was on the chopping.
So yeah, like I said, Kimora knows something. It's something she's not telling, something she chooses to not unveil. And, you know, coercion and intimidation is a thing. So I'm not sure why, as painful as this is, why she has not probably come out in terms of outside of Diddy's power and money, as well as Russell's power and money at the time. If I was, outside of me doing my own research, Erica Kennedy's autopsy results are sealed. Only thing they have listed is she allegedly unalived from natural causes, which is BS to me personally, because she, from what I researched and what I gathered, she was a perfectly healthy 42-year-old. Nothing, no extenuating medical issues or nothing that was listed online, at least. They just have her listed as natural causes. At 42? Yeah, no. And what's even more telling is 2 women from the same bridal party are unalived. Exact same bridal party. Immersed in both families. So in the event, if I was a lawyer in this case and was given full ramification to open back up Erica Kennedy's case, the first person I'm calling, Kimora.
Publicist for P. Diddy, as well as very close friend of Kim Porter, Erica Kennedy, wrote a novel in 2004 called Bling. Bling was rumored to be about Kim Porter and P. Diddy's tumultuous relationship, but obviously this was a novel, and it certainly didn't paint the hypothetical character of P. Diddy in a positive light by any means. And Diddy was rumored to be very displeased about the public's reaction to the novel that she wrote. Erica Kennedy was also very close friends with Kimora Lee Simmons, who, as we know, was Kim Porter's best friend. Erica Kennedy was even a bridesmaid in Kimora and Russell Simmons' wedding, and she was the godmother to their daughter Aoki Simmons. Erica's novel Bling quickly became a New York Times bestseller, and this allegedly infuriated P. Diddy. He was not happy about the success of the novel, as well as the public speculating that it was written about him. And with Erica being his former publicist, people really took what she was saying, even though it was a novel, at face value. 2012, Erica Kennedy was found alive in her Miami Beach apartment. Erica was just 42 years old at the time of her passing. Erica had sadly been laying in her apartment for days before a maintenance worker entered her apartment after tenants in the building were reporting a foul odor coming from Erica's apartment, which was unfortunately likely the smell of her decomposing body. Erica's manner in passing was never revealed publicly whatsoever, but many have speculated that Diddy's anger could have prompted him to have Erica taken out. Even close friends of Erica have written articles stating that they truly don't know how Erica passed away, but they would be very shocked to learn that she took her own life. Figures such as Kimora Simmons has advocated for Erica Kennedy's case being reopened, as Erica's toxicology and autopsy results were never released publicly, and there is a lot of questions surrounding her passing. Up next, we have Ed Winters. LA Deputy Coroner Ed Winters was the man who was largely responsible for investigating the circumstances around Kim Porter's passing. Ed Winters was almost known as the celebrity coroner. He worked cases that were high profile, such as Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Brittany Murphy, Tom Petty. But on March 17th of 2023, Ed Winters passed away at the age of 73. At the time that Ed Winters passed, many people found this very suspicious because right around the time that he passed away from what was reported to be natural causes, the public had a reemergence of interest in Kim Porter's passing and were advocating, signing petitions to have her case reopened. Conveniently, at the time that the public was really pushing to reopen Kim's case, the man who likely had the most extensive knowledge about the crime scene and the case passes away from natural causes. Ed Winters' autopsy was never released, toxicology was never released. It was simply reported that he passed from natural causes. We don't know if he had a heart attack, if he had a stroke. Timing of Ed Winters' passing commingling with the public pushing to have Kim Porter's case reopened caused a frenzy of speculation, understandably. Up next, we have Jamie Foxx. Of course, Jamie Foxx is thankfully still with us today. We do remember he very recently went through a very strange medical episode, and let's talk a little bit more about it. Jamie Foxx is a longtime friend of P. Diddy and has admitted to spending many wild nights partying with Diddy at the club and attending parties that Diddy hosted. Jamie Foxx was also a part of a friendship trio between himself, P. Diddy, and Ashton Kutcher, and they called themselves the Rat Pack. 2018, a video of Jamie Foxx detailing some of the things that he encountered while partying with Diddy began to circulate on the internet.
I remember watching Puff at the Beverly Hills Hotel. I'm filming this, and it's a pool party that is ridiculous, man. Over in the corner, God bless, is Heavy D, Andre Harrell, and they listening to a demo. There's Demi Moore and some young dude. I don't know who the dude is. So I said, Puff, who that? Oh, that's a young cat. Ashton Kutcher. Nick Cannon used to sleep on my couch. Wow. 13 years old. He'd be in one part of the house. He'd be like, nigga, go back in there. You can't, fuck back in there. You can't come in here. And he'd be like this, right? He slept on the couch. Ed Sheeran was the latest. Ed Sheeran slept. Wow. Ed Sheeran, my new house. Ed Sheeran slept on my studio floor for 6 weeks.
In 2018, that video did get a little bit of buzz, but that video was re-uploaded in 2023 and went completely viral on this app as well as Twitter. Social media went completely feral seeing this video and immediately started speculating that Jamie Foxx must know quite a bit about Diddy that he has not shared with the public. And in May of 2023, 55-year-old Jamie Foxx was hospitalized for over a month for an undisclosed medical issue. Jamie Foxx's daughter alerted the public after he had been in the hospital for weeks that her father was awake and alert, but he would remain in the hospital for the time being. After being discharged from the hospital, Jamie Foxx received treatment at a rehab facility in Chicago for an extended period of time. In later interviews, Jamie Foxx has never shared what he was diagnosed with, but he did share that the condition that he experienced caused him to pass away at one point, but he was obviously and thankfully brought back. Many speculated that Jamie Foxx simply suffered from something like a stroke, but other people speculated that this could have been retaliation because of Jamie Foxx's reemerged videos of him speaking out against P. Diddy. Obviously, it is just speculation that P. Diddy had a hand in whatever health scare that Jamie Foxx went through, but I do find the timing of the reemerged video and him going into the hospital very suspicious.
With all the revelations surfacing about Diddy, we can only hope that the mysterious deaths of Kim, Erica, and Terrance are re-examined, because they deserve justice.